Hey all of you lovely ladies out there, welcome back to our channel where we talk about everything related to relationships and dating. Today's topic is something that many of you have actually been asking about, and that's behaviors that are actually able to scare men off. Whether you're in a dating pool or are currently in a relationship or you're struggling to get or maintain one thing that we all want to know is what works and what does not. This applies to strategies or psychology, and obviously understanding behaviors or habits that might be turning your potential partners off or straight up scaring them away is crucial, especially if you're not a fan of being ghosted or getting dumped. Now, the very first behavior that we'll be talking about is women being overly aggressive. And I'm not talking about it in a sexist way. I don't mean when you're being forthright or just going after what you want in life and being assertive. I mean it like when you're getting very aggressive and pushy, like railroading someone into doing what you want rather than what they want. Because maybe you've noticed that when you get too aggressive in this way, the guy you like starts to pull away. And that's because other people being too pushy can be actually scary for us guys. So when a girl is overly pushy, it can make a guy feel like she's trying to control him or make all the decisions for him. This can make him feel like he's losing his power and his own independence. It can also make him feel like he's not appreciated for who he is, but only for what he can do or what he possesses. Another reason why being too aggressive can be scary for guys is because they might think that you're just trying to be the boss. They might feel like you're always telling them what to do and that you don't actually listen to their opinions. This can make them feel like they are not important or valued, and that's not something that anybody wants to feel. So what can you do to avoid being too aggressive and keep your guy interested? Well, for starters, you can let him make some of the decisions instead, or better yet, make decisions together. When he's talking to you, give him your full attention and show him that you value his thoughts and opinions. Encourage him and support his ideas within reason, of course. And I mean, tell him what he does right instead of what he's doing wrong all the time. My wife always calls this a crap sandwich. So if you have something negative to say, then bundle it up on either side with a little bit of a compliment about something that they're doing well, and slip the criticism in between. This actually leads me to the next sin that many people commit, and that is being too critical. So let me ask you this, ladies. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when you're talking to a guy, he gets really quiet and starts acting like he doesn't want to be around you? Well, this might be because you're being too critical. Being too critical means that you're always finding things that are wrong and saying them out loud. This can make somebody feel really bad about themselves, not just men, but this applies to everyone. And that's not what we want when we're trying to make friends or start a romantic relationship, do we? But why does it scare men anyway? Well, men, just like women, don't like feeling like they're not good enough. When you're always pointing out things that they're doing wrong, they start to feel like they're actually never going to be able to please you. This can make them feel really nervous around you and even want to stay away. So what can you do to avoid being too critical? Well, it's all about finding balance. We can still talk about things that need to be improved, but we also need to find ways to compliment and encourage each other. This way they feel good about themselves and are more likely to want to be around you. Remember, when we are kind and encouraging, people are more likely to want to be around us. So let's try to be less critical and be more supportive to each other. And while you're at it, stop being so negative about his shit, your shit, and life in general. Negativity can be a real turnoff for guys. Hell, it can be a real turnoff for everyone. Nobody wants a negative Nancy or Ned in their lives. And when you are always talking about the bad things in life or gossip, it can make people feel sad, worried, and really affect their outlook on life. Men have a tendency to hide their emotions. I mean, we all heard the stories. Some may say that we repress it, while others say that we're just being stoic. For many of us, whether it's through our upbringing or our biology, we don't tend to share as much much as women do. So when we are bombarded by negativity, we can internalize it and not let it out in a healthy way. Now, that's not true for all men, I know, but for many of us it is. Men usually want to be the protectors and problem solvers in any relationship. We want to make our partners happy and see them smile. And if you're being too negative all the time, it makes it harder for us to do that. It can also put us into a negative state of mind, and we can eventually see you in a negative light too. So what can you do to fix this? Well, the easiest way is to simply be more positive and optimistic. Have the positive approach to life. Half cup full. Easy, right? But for your own mental health, for making you feel more positive and happier, you should try to focus on the good things in life and find the silver lining of every situation. This will not only make you feel better, but make you laugh more and stop you from being so negative. But it'll also have the added bonus of making you more attractive for guys. Now, next one is the obvious one, and that is being overly possessive. Look, I get it. You might think that being possessive shows him just how much you care. But the truth is, it might actually be scaring the guys away. You see, when you're overly possessive, it can make a guy feel like you don't trust him and that you're trying to control his life. And like I said, we are not a fan of that. It can also make him feel like he's not free to do whatever he wants himself, and that can be a big turn-off. So what can you do instead? Well, the best way to show a guy that you care is by giving him space and showing him that you actually trust him. Trust is very important for every relationship, and this way he'll feel more comfortable and be more happy around you. One way to do this is by letting him to have some alone time. If he wants to go out with his friends or spend some time on his own, don't try to stop him. Instead, show him that you trust him and that you believe in him. Another way to show him that you trust him is by not asking him too many questions all the time. Guys like to have some privacy. So if you're always asking him about what he's doing or who he is with, he might start to feel like you don't trust him and might actually find a reason to, justify it. Now, my next sin is very closely associated with possessiveness, and that's jealousy. Now, the problem is that when women are feeling jealous, they may act in ways that can be confusing and even frightening to men. For example, a woman may be overly possessive or critical of person or things that she's jealous of. This can make a man feel like he's being monitored or judged. It can be scary in any number of ways to him. When a woman is jealous of someone, she may compare herself to that person and feel like she's not as good as they are. And she will obviously bring that negativity into the partnership, into the relationship. And this can make, in turn, her partner feel like he is not appreciated or valued, which can be hurtful and drive him away because he will feel like you don't actually trust him. So how can women avoid scaring men with their jealousy? First, it's important to recognize and acknowledge your feelings of jealousy. This can help you better understand why you're actually feeling this way and what you can actually do to manage your emotions. Second, try to be honest with your partner about the feelings that you have. Explain that you're feeling jealous and why. This can help your partner understand what is going on in your head, and they may actually offer some solutions and try to help you to resolve it. My next sin on the list is just being too self-entitled and high maintenance. Being high maintenance means that you require a lot of attention, care, and material things to feel happy and satisfied. On the other hand, being entitled means that you expect certain things in life to be given to you just because you want them. Now, whether you're a man or a woman, this kind of attitude can be a major turn-off, and it can scare people away, and rightly so. I mean, no one likes a high-maintenance, self-entitled asshole, right? Think about it. Men as well as women like to feel appreciated and valued. No one wants to feel like they constantly have to be buying expensive gifts or take their partner out to a fancy restaurant every week. This kind of lifestyle can become overwhelming, not to mention expensive, and they might start to feel like they can never do enough to please you. And they may feel like that is actually all you want. When you act entitled, guys might feel like they are walking on eggshells around you. They might feel like they always have to be on their best behavior and be afraid of upsetting you. This kind of pressure can make them feel like they can never actually relax and be themselves around you, which is not conducive or healthy in any kind of relationships. So what can you do to avoid being too high maintenance or entitled? It's simple, just be yourself. Let your personality shine through and be grateful for things that people do for you. Show appreciation for the little things, like surprise hug, phone call, just to check in, not just for the material gifts. Also be open-minded and willing to compromise. Relationships are about giving and taking. It's about a compromise. So it's important to be willing to make sacrifices for people that you actually care about. Now, my last sin must be indecisiveness, and this is not a major one, but you know, it's one that we need to talk about. I know I talked about men not wanting a woman who is overly pushy, but we also don't like it when women are too indecisive. It can scare us away, and that's because men, although we need to feel like we are in control and we are leading, we at the same time want to feel like, okay, there's our partner, there's a person who we rely on, and we want to feel like that when it comes to it and a decision must be made, it's not just up to us. I mean, what if we are not around? What if we don't have an opportunity to make the decision? We need to know that either you are happy to go with the decision that we make, or you are perfectly capable of doing decisions yourself. And there you have it, folks, the 7 deadly sins that can scare men off. Of course, every person is different, and what might turn off one person might not turn off another one. But these behaviors are a good place to start if you're looking to improve your chance of finding a successful relationship. Now, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, let us know by liking it, and comment with your favorite deadly sin in any relationship, or propose a different one if you have another one. Now, that is all. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.